Hello everyone, this is Poonam Sagar on Indoindians.com, and today we are doing a Facebook live streaming with nutritionist Geeta Seth. Hi Geeta, welcome to the show. And our moderator is Jyoti Chawla. Hi Jyoti, welcome. So our topic today, as you know, this is Geeta is a very capable and very knowledgeable nutritionist. And today what we are doing is a topic which is very close to what each of us needs to understand, is all about the myths and facts related to nutrition and immunity for COVID. So Geeta and Jyoti, please take this forward.
Thank you, Poonam. Hello, everybody. Since the whole world is struggling with this situation, it's the most apt topic to have this, and the perfect person to answer is Geeta. We've all known how Geeta has helped everybody over the years in Jakarta and overseas. Today, we're going to talk about specifically foods, superfoods, Ayurvedic related herbs. We're going to talk about all the nuts and seeds, all the correct fats related only to COVID. Am I right, Geeta? That's what we planned,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Okay. So we are going to, I would recommend if you suggest the basic concept that what is required as an immunity for COVID to be handled by individuals.
Sure. So thank you, Jyoti. And yes, today's topic is very important because all of us have been suffering with lots of realities and false things about it.
Correct.
So let's first understand what is coronavirus. Simple, it is a kind of virus which affects our respiratory system.
Yes.
You know, it is one virus which affects our body. And as you know, the symptoms can be from fever to fatigue to a dry cough to even mucus and loss of taste, loss of smell. These are the generalized viral after effects. But what is this virus exactly doing? It directly goes to the lungs
Yes.
and it affects the lungs capacity. It starts working on the lung itself. So as you know that lungs are full of oxygen, right? And the most minute part of our lungs is the small sacs, the small sacs where the oxygen goes and it transports to the whole body through the blood. What will happen if these sacs swell? What the coronavirus does is goes and directly plays on these sacs. They start swelling, and sometimes when things are worse, they have pus. So those small holes, they start swelling, and then there is no place for the oxygen to go. And that is how a person can start feeling, breathless and cannot breathe. So talking about coronavirus, people who have this on a minor way, the symptoms are less. Those sacs are not fully, covered with pus and inflammation. The person can breathe. The people who really who really have a lot of effect on their lungs on them cannot breathe, even if you give them the purest of oxygen, from the hospital. Then, so this basically is coronavirus.
Yes.
This is the general definition.
So if I was to speak about, I remember we had this conversation just before we started this, that you said protein is like the most important thing that's needed during coronavirus, right? Okay. So I have two questions related to that. First of all, protein, as in, can you explain what's protein to layperson? And then protein related to vegetarian, non-vegetarian diet.
Okay, so now first let us understand the immune system. The basic immune system. Now I am not talking about coronavirus. I'm just talking about immunity. What happens? A small fever comes, some viral infections which we have generally other than coronavirus, which we have generally, and it enters our blood system. So the killer cells, the T killer cells, the T copy cells, these are these cells. I would like to speak about them on a layman's language, not getting too scientific. So the moment you see a virus, the blood gets the information, oh, there's a foreign invader. Now this foreign invader, suddenly the T copy cells, what do they do? They pick up that virus and they start copying it to every cell. And there's an information to all the cells. Hello, this is a foreign invader. Hello, this is a foreign person. Who's he? Suddenly they recognize it as an enemy. The other cells, they go and see whether this is worth being in the body or not. Maybe it's going to cause harm. There are certain things we don't call which don't cause us harm also that we have seen that. So the moment it sees that no, this is going to be harmful, so it starts crossing every cell that this person has been crossed. Now comes the T killer cells. What do the T killer cells do? Oh, they know that this has been crossed. That means we have to eat it and finish it. So the killer cells, they start eating all those cells which have been crossed by the other cells.
Okay.
And this way the infection finishes. So just by the way, when all this process goes on, it takes 2 3 days, and the doctor has already given you some crocin or some paracetamol so that you feel better. But the body is actually automatically getting okay. This is the generalized way. When somebody gets fever, this is how it works. When somebody gets some bacterial infection, this is how it works. Now, when this virus has come, it should work like this. So, all this, the whole immune system, what is it made up of? Do you know this is made up of only protein? So they are the building blocks of our immunity.
Yes.
What happens that suppose if I'm not eating enough protein, I don't want to eat protein, maybe for so many reasons, or I'm just not taking care. So definitely my immune system is compromised.
Yes.
The moment I have a higher protein diet, forget about making muscles and looking thin and being lean. That is okay. But the moment I eat more protein, I know my immunity cells are perfect because they have got the building block material.
Correct.
You understand? There comes the role of protein. So now the doctors would always tell you, oh, the
Yes.
person who's going through coronavirus should have a high protein diet.
Yes. I was just going to come to that. Yes.
How does it work? It won't work because you don't have the immune system ready. How will it work? This is the thing.
So there is a myth. I thought it's a myth because it says that when usually what I hear here is when anybody goes through COVID, they put on a high protein diet instantly, very low carb and almost zero sugar. So you're saying that's
Yes.
true actually.
Yes, that's true. Because now the doctor is making sure that you have high protein. Although, we are expected that anybody, one of us who gets coronavirus, should already have high protein in your diet. So otherwise also, folks, if you want to have good immunity, then have high protein diet throughout.
So if I was to ask you that 5 key high protein foods for vegetarian and 5 key high protein foods for non-vegetarian, what would you name?
The best protein is class 1 protein, which is milk and milk products.
Milk and
They
milk.
come number 1. So all milk and milk products have a class 1 protein and they really affect as well.
Okay.
Now there are certain proteins which have got amino acids as the building blocks, which is the red meat, which is the goat.
Yes.
The goat has the same amino acid system as we humans have. It apes. It is the closest. It is not fish. It is not chicken. It is the red meat. So if you would ask me, if my clients are going to eat red meat every day, of course they'll have high cholesterol because it has a high fat content. Okay. So I personally believe that, we give them meat soup, the mutton soup on a regular basis, 2 to 3 times a week, because they don't have to chew the flesh. While you're chewing the flesh, there are many other things that happen in the body. Your cholesterol increases. The body takes time to digest all the food, etc., etc. There are few negativities.
The goat feet soup to have.
Yes, the goat meat soup along with its bone are going to give you the best nutrition. I would really suggest everyone that you must have that. This milk and milk products, the goat meat, and of course, chicken and fish are lean meats, and they of course have good protein which should be eaten. Now, the mistake what people do is coming to vegetarian proteins.
Yes.
I have seen so many clients who are vegetarians. They start having dal, two katoris, 3 katoris, 4 bowls, and they will the breakfast is also this green moong and the yellow moong and everything. Please try to understand that in the dals there is purine. What happens with purine? The moment you have high purine foods, your uric acid increases.
Okay.
So vegetarian proteins have to know that how much to have what. If you are having your dals, please limit it to 1 katori, 1.5 katori. Don't overdo it. Do not have it 3 times a day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, which is very common. People have dal chilla and then they have dal in many different forms. That should not be done. Another very good protein source is seeds.
Seeds.
Seeds have omegas, the vegetarian omegas, which is excellent. As in one of my last talks, I had spoken about. Seeds are very good for your skin. Seeds are very good for your hair. And thus, the seeds are good for immunity. Why? Because they have protein. So, these seeds and nuts are excellent. Vegetarian protein, which comes in the form of peas and beans, and there are certain sprouts, are fine, but kindly have them in limited quantity. Fine. But you can always mix uh, the milk protein, which is the octo. There are people who are vegans. I like them, but yes, they always have a lack of certain things. There are people who are octo-vegans. Octo-vegans means they have milk and milk products.
Yes.
People who are vegetarians should be octo-vegan. They should have certain types of milk products also. This
Okay.
really helps. Both vegetarian and non-vegetarian are good for immunity. As you have seen, they are high protein. Only take care of the dals.
What about soya? The Nutrella and
Soya
natives.
also has a little bit of controversy because it is class 2 protein.
Okay.
No doubt, soya is a high vegetarian protein, but it should also be not like it. You cannot just have it unlimited. It
Okay.
should also have a limit. I mean, class 2 proteins in a vegetarian way are, if they are limited, they are good enough.
Okay, Geeta, taking a cue from the seeds that you have mentioned, that
Yeah.
was one of the things I wanted to speak with you about. What seeds and how much per day? And does it matter whether you are in a winter climate or whether you're in scorching summers? Does that make any difference?
Okay, yeah. So this is a very interesting and detailed topic. The other day I had a talk with. Now remember, the quality of seeds, as I told you, they are high in calcium, they are
Yes.
high in protein, they are high in omegas, the vegetarian omegas, but they don't have carbohydrates as much. A very, very negligible. That means simply means they are good for us.
Yes.
Another thing, yes, they have fats.
Yes.
But these are those fats which help our body give us energy. These fats are not stored in our body to make us fat. This directly goes to the liver and it plays as an energy thing for the whole body.
Yes.
So seeds, if you soak them overnight, they become pre-digested. And because of soaking, how you call it in Hindi, the tasir changes. You know,
Yeah.
if you directly have it, it is little on the hotter side. But if you soak it and have it, then
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
But the problem is that the seeds, if they are not chewed well, if you don't chew them well, it doesn't work.
Okay.
People who have eaten flax seeds, and there are people who quickly gobble flax seeds. They just eat it like that. The same flax seeds from the poop has come out as it is. That means it has been useless.
So,
So what
how
I generally what I generally suggested that kindly powder them. Why? Because maybe today even I don't have the patience or I don't have the time to eat my seeds, but I want everything from that seed. I want my protein from that seed. I want my skin and everything, omegas from that protein. But then how? So what I would suggest, as suggested last time also, we make a homemade protein powder where we add these nuts and seeds and we powder them. And the moment we add them for our breakfast in a smoothie, in our milk, in our curd, they are excellent. They are excellent. So this is a great combination of protein. Another, there's somebody I was just recently giving a protein diet, of course, after post-corona. So I gave them boiled chana dal with some jaggery and these nuts and seeds powder along with the milk. So it became a shake. So
Chana.
what happens that the class 1 protein is also there, the class 2 protein is also there, and the milk or curd, whatever, one of the products are there. So this becomes a complete meal. And if you don't take too much of jaggery in it, then you can even use it for your lunch also. People who don't, sometimes they don't have the appetite, but the doctor has to give them all these things to nourish their body. So this is how we try. A very good way is to soak your seeds overnight and chew it in the morning, but kindly chew them relaxingly. Don't gobble them immediately. Take your time. As they say, as the grandmothers say, you should chew anything 30 times. A very good idea to chew them many times.
So Geeta, for COVID, especially this situation, which are the nuts and seeds which are really, really recommended that you should not miss it? And also, should seeds be powdered raw or should we roast?
No, there is no need to roast the seeds. This is a very common question because the quality and the way it is made in a raw way is fair enough. When we roast them, it is actually only for good taste. It is only for good taste,
And I don't think sometimes people roast and then powder so that longevity increases. But
no need.
Just small batches is always better.
No, you can always freeze them. You can always put them in the fridge. Even if the roasted seeds are powdered, the longevity actually does not really increases because with the roasting the oils come out.
Yes.
So it becomes rancid more quickly.
Well, I always do smaller batches.
Yeah, no, there are people who don't have the time and they do it on a monthly basis. It's absolutely okay. Only take out the quantity for a week, rest you keep it in the fridge so that the oils don't come out, and they actually don't come out. But as the question goes, if you roast it and then you powder them, it is as rancid quickly because the oils due to the roasting also come out.
Right. Okay. So which are the best top 5 seeds and nuts that you recommend we have to eat during this time to keep us
for sure. Yes, for sure. It is the pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
It is the melon seeds, the green ones. It is the sesame seeds, but sesame seeds in summers, because they are high in calories, we put less quantity. Absolutely, we must have almonds, pistachios, and walnuts. These are our 6 top seeds and nuts, which really go well with a COVID patient. I mean, you have to protect yourself from COVID. That way, you always see if your immune system is good, the effects are COVID going to be less. The effects of COVID are definitely going to be less. But the person who's already living a compromised life, he does not have enough of all these. Of course, the COVID will make all the things all the more worse. It's this way.
And how much to eat per day? Sometimes one is wondering, should I just do seeds today? Should I do nuts today? As you've suggested, a powder would be perfect. But some people like to just eat their nuts and seeds rather than powder. So what's the right quantity per day to continue?
I would always suggest 3 to 4 teaspoons for your breakfast.
Okay.
You can have them raw. Raw or roasted if you're eating. But if it is a powder, then not more than 3 teaspoons. Now, again, if you're talking to me about young girls and boys, teenagers, or still younger, they can have 2 to 3 teaspoons twice a day also. Yeah. People who are already obese, who already are overweight, 2 to 3 teaspoons is fair enough. For the breakfast, only once a day is enough. But yes, if I really want to look after myself and I don't want to get COVID, so maybe I have high protein and everything. So I would go for 4 teaspoons, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening.
Okay.
That's a fair enough quantity. But yes, if I have people who have not eaten well, if I have people who are thin, then I would go up to 6 teaspoons also per day. Yes, and that's fine.
And this is white sesame you're talking about, correct?
Yes, white and sesame, black sesame have the difference of fiber. So white are fair enough. It's a good idea to have white.
Coming to another topic, which is supplements. Seeing here in India, everybody's eating loads of vitamin C and zinc. What are the best supplements, which is over and above our food, nuts, seeds, veg, non-veg? Besides that, what we can buy on the counter? Which are the supplements that you would highly recommend?
So do you know that since the coronavirus has started, the sale of supplements has multifolded.
Sure.
It has, people buy it without thinking also.
Yes, true.
All the over-the-counter supplements have been bought by everyone. If you
Yes.
go and see every house today, they have some supplements all over.
Yes.
Okay, I respect supplements. Just supplements are nice, of course, because everybody cannot eat everything all the time. If I want to supplement myself with the food, that means I'll have to be in the kitchen half of the day
Yeah.
and see to it that I buy every vegetable and every fruit. See,
True.
it's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. So I would the proved vitamins now after the COVID, the doctors have realized, and this has been proved. See, the body makes certain enzymes where the requirement of zinc is there, where the requirement of vitamin D is there, where the requirement of B complex, vitamin B complex is there, and vitamin C. These are the key supplements for coronavirus to fight with coronavirus.
Okay.
This has been proved in hospitals and with the doctors and in the clinics that people who are well supplemented with all these things can fight the virus better. Their body is more stronger compared to the people who are not having these supplements. Believe me, before the coronavirus, there were rarely people who used to supplement themselves with the zinc.
True.
Vitamin C
And
is
people
common.
around even checking whether their B12s
Yes.
and D and other things were low. And you're right. We're
So
becoming.
these are the four key supplements which are very important and which do help fight in coronavirus. We have got better results. Why? Because the enzymes which make the immune system, the kind of hormones and everything we require for the immunity overall body, these are the key holders. Without them, it's very difficult to have a good immunity and go through the coronavirus. So, well, now talking about the immunity of coronavirus, see how does coronavirus spread? Of course, we all know it, but just to repeat, when a person has this virus in his body, he coughs or sneezes. So these particles from his nose and mouth, they go and
Correct.
they reach as far as they can infect.
Correct.
That's why they say that at least 3 feet you should be away from a person who has got infection, and we are expecting that he might be infected. But what happens that when a person coughs or sneezes, the droplets they remain in the air. They are
Yes.
entangled in the air.
Correct.
Can be for few hours, can be for few days also. Do you know this?
Yes. Yes.
Secondly, if it is on a plate or if it is on a glass and it has been there, it and the other person has just picked up the glass, simple, he'll get it.
Correct.
So here comes the immunity.
Yeah.
If the person who's got a better immunity might not immediately catch it, but a person who has got a compromised physical status, for example, he already is dealing with diabetes, for example, he's already dealing with blood pressure or some heart disease or some kidney disease, any compromised state can get you coronavirus, can get you infected with the coronavirus quite quickly.
True.
So, well, if you ask me today more than supplements, I would say just wear a mask and hand sanitize yourself as quickly as possible. The
As
moment you touch an object and you have gone out, just use your sanitizer very often.
true.
That really helps.
True. 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 Just question on oils and fats. Though I know oils and fats is not a highly recommended thing. One thing, ghee. That's the only thing I want to ask. I think everybody understands too much of oils for everything that ghee, because I do hear a lot of people going back to ghee as a gut cleaner, as an immunity builder. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. The ghee has come out to be a superfood. Even I would recommend people to make their food in ghee, use it often. Why? Again, to repeat, I'm repeating this, it's a medium chain triglycerides. That means it does not increase your cholesterol in the body. It helps reduce the bad cholesterol, which is LDL. It
Yes.
helps increasing the HDL, which is the good cholesterol. And as I told you, because of this quality of medium chain triglycerides, when it goes to the liver, it changes into the form of energy instead of getting stored like adipose tissues, like how we use the frying oils, the vegetable oils, and there are many different oils which all have the quality to be stored in the body as the fat droplets in the adipose tissues. Ghee does not have that.
Okay. So
So, of course, I wouldn't say that you fry your things in ghee because, after all, the calories in ghee or oil is same. is 45 calories in 1 teaspoon, which is 5 ml. So, of course, if you have more calories, then you will be obese, and then you'll see that it doesn't work like
As
that.
compared to the other fats, you recommend a ghee
And
better
the
than
second comes is coconut oil. Coconut oil is also medium chain triglycerides, and it really helps in,
okay.
It
Uh,
really helps well.
Okay. Geeta, a lot of people are doing a lot of kadas,
Yeah.
a lot of concoctions, giloys. How would you, explain that
Okay.
to the audience?
Now, paying the right respect to the right thing. For example, tulsi. For example, turmeric. For example, ginger. For example, cinnamon, and few more things which we add in our kada, as Indian things. Now there is ashwagandha. Now there are other things. What are the qualities of these things? The moment you have adrak, that is ginger or turmeric, when you inhale it, you know, your breathing passage opens because it is anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So if there is inflammation in your body or food pipe, or it is in your lungs, the inflammation decreases. That means the sacs which carry the oxygen, they open up. So that's why, after having these things, the patient starts feeling better. He says, yes, I'm breathing better because actually the inflammation has gone. Very good. It works here. So you're breathing well. But the coronavirus which is sitting inside, what happens to that? Will it die? No,
Oh,
it will not die. How will it die? Because this is not the medicine for coronavirus. As you know, that there are many medicines, antiviral medicines, which affect the coronavirus. But if you talk about the main medicine, it has not yet come. It has not been as good as not been discovered. So
yes.
these things which help your open your nasal passage. When you have a cold, you inhale, you do steaming also, adding tulsi leaves. They are anti-inflammatory. They help us, but they help us open our passage temporarily. So, we definitely feel good. You must have seen corona patients who say that, oh, after having that kana, I feel good. Yes. Why not? Because they are anti-inflammatory. They have their own qualities. People survive on that. I'm not talking about coronavirus. Generally, people have survived well on that because they don't get colds, you know.
Yes.
And if they have cough, then the black pepper and tulsi and this combination, this helps because it opens the passage because of anti-inflammatory and antibacterial reasons. But it is not doing anything to the corona. It is not doing anything to the corona.
That's very nice to hear because there are lots of myths around it.
Yes, this is a myth. Why this is actually a myth? Because it proves that you start feeling better. Actually, the person starts feeling better. Person who has got a mild coronavirus can feel better because of it, but he will not be cured of that. That thing takes its own time to become negative, but this is not directly connected.
Okay, okay, okay. Ashwagandha is the last thing that I want to ask. A lot of people during this time have started to do giloy and ashwagandha. These are two
Yes,
big
again, it is exactly the same. The answer is same. They have antibacterial, anti-inflammatory properties, and they help. But no, there is no such proof which says that they have been proved against coronavirus. Yes, they increase our immunity. They increase our immunity because they have got so many properties.
So you would
But
recommend that we have ashwagandha and giloy, like the tablet or whatever is available.
it's a good idea because in any case, it is strengthening our body. In
Okay.
any case, it is increasing our immunity. Why not do everything which makes your body more strong?
Yes.
It's like that.
Okay, great. Geeta, if I was to encapsulate this whole thing, I will pick up whatever you've mentioned, and we have Poonam also joining in. You recommend nuts and seeds, supplements,
Definitely.
ashwagandha, giloy,
Yes.
and all the proteins in the food.
Yes.
Is there
Another
anything that I have
small thing
missed?
I would like to a small thing I would like to talk about is how we have seen now this black fungus has come, which is
Yes.
now become a big topic, It's become an important part of the topic. So what happens, the person who's on oxygen and who's on ventilator, when the person is given oxygen through everything, it has to be the oxygen cylinder has to be first mixed with water to humidify it.
Correct.
When from one person to another person it goes and it is not clean, then there is fungus. Now, this same fungus, the black fungus, which is now known for killing people, The same fungus is in our AC ducts. The same fungus is in molds in the form of foods, and the same fungus is actually in the fruits. So actually, with the same fungus, we have been dealing for years and years. But now it's called the black fungus because now the person is given steroids. Because of steroids, it is directly affecting on the pancreas. And a person who's not a diabetic is becoming a diabetic because the pancreas are not working. So the combination with that fungi, which is there in your dirty medical equipments, that along with your high sugar are definitely going to give you fungus now, which is known as black fungus, which is going to enter your brain and eyes, and it's killing people. So
Yes.
please take care of this, that it should be clean. Everything should be
Whenever
clean.
anybody is taking any oxygen equipment, they have to ensure that it has been cleaned from the first.
Because the patients are so many now, how would they manage? The management has become difficult. Yes.
Thanks, Geeta. That was very good. I have a question. I have been told by many people that water is the key. A lot of people, they stop drinking water when they fall sick, or, when as soon as they stop drinking enough water, they become more open to all kinds of diseases. So what is your view on what is the optimum amount of water that we should drink every day?
This is such a correct question. Poonam, if I would give you all the vitamins and all the protein in your body, but if they are not getting transported,
Yes.
how will it work? So water is required to transport all these things correctly. Goes to the blood, makes the blood in the correct thinning quantity, and it goes to everything. So water is actually an important thing to transport all the things which you have eaten. Otherwise, how will it go here and there? That is the main role of water. Secondly, it cools the body. It detoxifies the body. This is where I'm not talking about the normal benefits of water. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk connected to the virus. It transports everything. It cools the body. It detoxifies the body. And of course, we require water in a good amount. It is 8 to 10 to 11 glasses, but not too much. Otherwise, the body's electrolytes, they go haywire with too much of water, and then it doesn't work like that.
What about tea, coffee? Is that okay? You can just have, it doesn't matter.
There is no direct effect of tea, coffee on coronavirus. One can have it in a normal way the person is having. Should be not a problem at all.
Right.
And as you know, the vaccines have come out.
Yes.
Now there are many types of vaccines. The Chinese vaccines are there. Everything is there. So, basically what the vaccines are, the same coronavirus is inactivated and put in a vaccine. The example is that when you want that lion should not bite you, you remove all his teeth. So then the lion is using he cannot bite you. He might play with you. In the same way, we remove those things in the coronavirus which can affect you. So the inactivated virus goes in your body, and then you start getting antibodies made. This is how the vaccines work.
It's a trigger to build antibodies for you, basically. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Geeta. That was very, very informative. I really appreciate this about you, that you really share your knowledge so honestly and openly. And a lot of us benefit out of that. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you, Poonam, for the event. It was really nice.
Thank you, Jyoti, for your time and for all the questions that were so valid and well put. And we look forward to having more such small info sessions live on Indoindians. Thank you so much. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you, Jyoti.